District of Conservation is sponsored by CFACT. To learn more about our sponsor, head over to cfact.org. Thank you so much for listening. Welcome to District of Conservation. I'm your host, Gabriella Hoffman. This podcast offers a sober examination into all things hunting, fishing, shooting sports, energy, environment, and the public policy surrounding it. And this podcast also specializes in original interviews that you won't hear elsewhere. Here's what I have for you today. Welcome to a special edition of District of Conservation. We are straying away from our usual Monday and Tuesday posting days to offer you an exclusive look at my conversation with Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. A very last minute but wonderful opportunity to be able to undertake as a podcast host. I've been following her work for a long time as a political junkie, and she likes the outdoors and she wants people to come to Arkansas, where she presides over. She became governor earlier this year. She's the 47th governor and the first woman ever elected to the post. And a big part of her platform, it's the second largest industry, which we'll talk about in our conversation today, is boosting opportunities for outdoor recreation, hunting, fishing, climbing, camping, and the like. Her state has been pummeled by horrific tornadoes, much like all across the Midwest. Those states have unfortunately been hammered by natural disasters like this, and we're grateful she was able to take time to talk about her most recent experience doing a bear den study with the Arkansas Game Department, her natural state initiative, what that entails, and teeing up what she'll be signing into law today. Several bills that passed in the Arkansas legislature that'll boost economic opportunities relating to the outdoors, cutting red tape, and also expanding access. I will include some bills that she will be signing into law in the show notes. You can check those out today. And you will find a more comprehensive write-up at townhall.com this Friday, expanding on our conversation and delving into what she is doing and why she thinks other governors should also prioritize outdoor recreation. It's a big chunk of the economy. It's, I think, 2% now, the outdoor recreation economy. Big part of our GDP, multi-billion-dollar industry. So I'll let Governor Huckabee Sanders take it away from here. Enjoy. Governor, thank you so much for speaking with me. How are recovery efforts going in Arkansas?
You know, we certainly have a long road to go. We suffered pretty devastating destruction across the state, focused primarily in central Arkansas and in Wynne, in the eastern part of our state. And while there is a lot of work to be done, I'm amazed at the way that the community and the people of our state have stepped up to take care of each other, and really just a heroic effort to get people back on their feet in some type of temporary housing. Just this morning, I was able to go to Wynne, Arkansas, where the schools there suffered significant damage. The high school completely demolished. And yet, with only 5 days of missed class, students are already back for instruction. And it's just amazing to see the way that that community has come together and how quickly they've been able to get students back in a classroom. And so proud of the work that they have done, and very thankful for our partnership with the local, state, and federal leaders who have all really come together to make sure we're taking care of the people of Arkansas.
I'm glad to hear that things are going well despite the circumstances. Before I ask you about some of your initiatives to boost outdoor recreation and the outdoor economy, I would love you to first speak about your recent experience doing a bear den study. How was that?
It was amazing. My husband and I got to take our kids along with the Arkansas Game and Fish team and go out and help check on new baby cubs. There were 2 cubs that were there, and holding a baby bear cub is about one of the coolest, most fun things that you can do. And I'm very proud of the fact that through the conservation efforts here in the state of Arkansas, we have the most successful reintroduction of a large carnivore, my understanding, is anywhere in the world. And so we have done a phenomenal job. I think back several decades before this program started, there were roughly only 50 bears that they could identify here in the state. And now the population is well north of 5,000. So a very successful conservation program, and a really neat thing to get to be part of. And hold baby bear cubs is a pretty exciting thing to do.
You weren't the only governor to do that. I saw some other representatives, I think in Missouri and other states doing it. So you guys are kind of starting a trend or making it more popular. But it's largely because of Pittman Robertson. And thank you for showcasing where those monies go to. You, having come to office just recently, have been prioritizing outdoor recreation, increasing and boosting hunting and fishing access. Could you speak to your natural state initiative and some of the bills you'll be signing this week?
Absolutely. Arkansas is the natural state, and I'm unbelievably amazed at the beautiful natural landscape that we have here with our rivers, our lakes, our streams, our mountains, our hiking, biking, hunting, fishing is second to none. And we want to go out and tell our story. I say all the time, I'm the chief salesperson of Arkansas. I think we have an amazing story to tell. I want people that live here to know the great things we have in our own backyard, as well as people across the country and around the world to come here for tourism and see what Arkansas has to offer. And so that's been a big part of the driving force. My husband, who is leading and chairing the Natural State Initiative, he's a bit more adventurous than I am. And so while I'm more on walking on the trail, he's big into mountain biking and things like that. And so we love taking our kids out, keeping them off screens, getting out and enjoying the natural state that we're really proud of. And so we focused heavily this session on things that expand access so that everyone can enjoy some of those opportunities we have, cutting red tape and getting some of the government bureaucracy out of the way so that our state parks can really thrive and be even more successful, and growing our outdoor economy. I mean, it's a huge revenue driver for our state. It's the second largest industry that we have in Arkansas, just behind agriculture. And we want to continue to grow that industry. And so the areas that we focused on this session really address those three big things.
Some of the bills include, I think, the enactment of a lifetime hunting and fishing license. Obviously, you alluded to cutting red tape professional services contracts at Arkansas state parks, and just kind of boosting opportunity zones as well. So why do you think the outdoor recreation economy is important to kind of showcase? And do you wish that other Republican governors kind of followed your lead here too?
Absolutely. And honestly, I hope that it's not just Republican governors. Enjoying the outdoors and keeping kids off screen shouldn't be a political issue. This is something that everybody, I think, can get behind, whether you're in a red state or a blue state. And very proud to be a leader in this field and continue to encourage people to enjoy the amazing natural resources that we have in this state and around the country.
Will you and your family be going fishing or doing turkey hunting? I know you alluded to your husband being kind of the more avid sportsman, but are those activities that you like to take your kids out on? I've seen you catch trout before too, which is really awesome.
Yeah, we try to take our kids with us as much as possible. And my husband and my middle son will be turkey hunting within the next week. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get drugged down a river at some point here in the next 5 or 6 days as well, which I'm looking forward to. It's nice to get outside of the office and and this session wraps up, enjoy some of the great outdoors here in Arkansas.
How can my listeners and readers learn more about the Natural State Initiative and some of your priorities, Governor?
Certainly, going to our website is always one of the easiest ways to find out anything about what we have going on, whether it's with the Natural State Initiative, growing our outdoor economy, or some of the other great initiatives like heavy focus on Arkansas education, as well as criminal justice reform. At arkansas.com is the best way, though, for people who are interested in learning more about the Natural State Initiative and the work that we're doing in that space.
Thank you, Governor, for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with me. And we wish you guys continued success in recovery efforts and also in your efforts to boost the outdoor economy.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. And we look forward to hosting you here in Arkansas so you can see some of it firsthand.
That would be wonderful. We'll try to make something work. Thanks for listening to today's episode. Make sure you're connected to us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also on your preferred player, we recommend Apple Podcasts, where you can leave us reviews if you really like the content. Share the podcast with friends who may be interested in learning more about what's trending in conservation and the related industries that entangle with it and sometimes work against it as well. Thanks for listening to the show, and stay tuned for the next episode.